Alrighty, hello everyone. How's it going? Welcome to another edition of Into the Megaverse. And I am with Gaming Megaverse. How's it going? How you doing
Going
on this
well.
fine evening?
It's wonderful.
Awesome. So, today, or should I say tonight, is this our first After Dark?
This is our first After Dark.
Oh man. You
Into
guys
the
are
Universe After Dark.
you guys are in for a treat. But tonight, everyone, we are reviewing Byzantium in the Northern Islands. Here it is. We both got our copies. Oh man, it's like the Palladium Book Club up in here. The Finer Things Club, right?
That's right.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that being said, let's hop right into the joys of this book. Overall, I know you loved the book and I loved the book, but let's dive right in and see why we loved it. And here's a close up, a little bit of the picture of the on the front on the cover for everyone. But yeah, go ahead.
And this is the back. And oddly, I'm going to start with the back because it was the first time that Palladium decided to put a full color map of the Palladium world in one of their books. So it got the back cover, and the map has a bit of a personal story because the first time this appeared publicly was on A God Rebuilt, because I had the map commissioned. And quite frankly, it's a doggone gorgeous map.
Oh, that's the one we forgot to include. That map. We put the wrong map in. It's all good.
No, the other map that we also included also has a rebuilt connection story as well. So that was fine too. But
That's true.
yeah, so I shared the map with Kevin one day after an Megaversal Ambassador Coordinator meeting, and he liked it so much he decided to publish it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
so
so
it's
glad
pretty
he
cool.
did.
And the other map that is now on the screen was done also as a commission for Rebuilt originally, but we only did the section that says Curidin, kind of in the middle there, and then that grew into a Palladium Books commission, and people are joking around now that Will Irwin, the guy who did this map that's on the screen, is now the quote-unquote official Palladium map maker because he's made so many for them at this point, and there's talk of them possibly doing an atlas in the future, which would be really cool.
That would be cool. I'd. Oh, it like they could totally do so many things with that. They can mix it with like that with the regions and the bestiaries that they could include in there. And
An updated Monsters and Animals
oh,
book.
that would be so fun. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're speculating. These are not things that
Take my money. Atlas book, I want it. I need it. Oh man. But yes, aside from speculation or things that we desire, let's hop
yes.
right in.
Okay.
And first things first is you gotta eat your vegetables with the meat and potatoes. Although Gaming Makerverse will always say that these are his meat and potatoes, but
And the other things are my vegetables.
Exactly.
I look forward to the backstories and to the setting material. I think that Palladium does a really good job of settings and giving a game master plenty of ideas to run with, and plenty of background to use or abuse.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, and this book came out after Rebuilt. In Rebuilt, we had kind of made Byzantium one thing.
Hmm.
So we changed a lot of what's in this book because the book wasn't out. So that was fun.
So true. Yeah, I mean, we've all been in those situations, or at least most of us have, where the GM's struggling to create these regions and cities and whatnot. And it is great, especially for those of us who aren't awesome at creating unique sandbox worlds with defined cities. You're not sitting there spending like 10 minutes just trying to come up with a name for a town.
Yep.
So I
And
totally.
and they do go through a lot of things. They have like 4 or 5 pages of a timeline of Byzantium from beginning to day now.
Mhm.
And if you look at that, you don't have to look at it and go, well, this is many years ago, so it doesn't matter. You can take something and go, uh, the the crown prince institutes a level of taxation on a colony, and half the colonies can't afford to pay their taxes, and so they revolt. And that's just a great story that you could build a session or two or a game out of.
Definitely. And I mean, just on the history, if you wanted to, I mean, you can go back and play in some of these awesome events that were happening. So if you have a time-based game, which I know you don't really enjoy, but you can go back to, 65 years ago, the age of the Seven Sisters,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth. And you can kind of play those campaigns or revisit those different things, change history. Maybe someone's going back in the past and messing with this. So, you
Yeah, and
know,
that's something I would never have even thought of. But yeah, I like to use these timeline things as seed ideas for future games,
mhm,
and not necessarily look at it as history, but look at it as adventure seeds. So I find that fun.
exactly.
They go into heavily the politics, probably more than they've ever done
Oh yeah.
um, in this book. And I found it fascinating. I loved the fact that they have main houses here.
Hmm.
It there are definite um, echoes of
The Western Empire.
not even the Western Empire. I was more thinking of a certain TV show and book series that seems to be fairly popular.
Oh yeah, the one that rhymes with like. No, I'm not even gonna try. Yeah. No.
But I mean, all the way down to stealing some names with like a couple of vowels changed. So I thought that was interesting.
Hmm.
Um, and just the house infighting and they give you enough to give you some flavor, but they don't really get into like depth on it.
Hmm.
You talked earlier about they call Byzantium brotherhood, but yet non-humans are treated terribly poorly, and even elves and dwarves are kind of spit on.
Yeah.
These people are Algor worshippers, the god Algor, the god of the sea,
Hmm.
and that's unique for Palladium. And because of that, they're massively human supremacists. They don't think that they think that everyone's that's not human is impure.
Hmm. And
That was
I love the little picture. It almost looks like the um, Harry Potter house elf there, just sitting there as begging as humans walk by, and
oh, that one, yeah, that's a great one.
yeah. No, it is funny, and that's something that definitely can be played out too, because in our world, we kind of turned that around. But
Hmm.
even in our world, we knew that human supremacy was the primary focus of this area. But this book just put us completely to shame.
Oops.
It's like, oh, you think that's bad? Hold my beer.
Yeah, so that's fun. They go into their laws. They go into their foreign relations. They do a lot of detail, and again, a lot of this is a lot of fun for possible stories. Even if you never touched Byzantium, you can use this stuff for adventure hooks all over the place.
Yeah, I've got 50 backup characters now. After reading this book, like, okay, I want that one, and I want this one. Like, just grabbing them off the shelf. I'll take you and you. Hopefully I don't max out my budget on these guys. But it's definitely fun.
What did you think of the city of Byzantium as we get into like page 50?
Well, I mean, the main thing that really struck me was, like you said, the treatment of the non-humans, and to me that was just very, very interesting. And also, yeah, it'll be interesting to see now, looking back at your game, the differences.
Oh, there's a lot of differences. So they highlight, they spend a number of pages on the actual capital city of Byzantium, otherwise known as Byzantium City, and they go into some highlights of special places and places of note and some inns and fun the shipyards and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and the map's okay, and and it gives you a lot of again, adventure hooks and ideas. And they do a couple of pages on their second largest city, which is a homage to a former producer of role-playing games, Amber included. They call the city Wujik.
50,000. That's
50,000
for a pass.
And that's where they make the giant stone ships, which we'll get to later on. But then, they just give a quick paragraph to every other city. I mean, it's really quick, and they run through, and it's
not uncommon.
I think that's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you get too into it, it's like, okay, I've had enough of my vegetables. It's time for the meat and potatoes.
And they talk about the other islands of Byzantium, and they do that for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then they get into the colonies.
And I won't mention it yet.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, they mentioned some magic items, like the magic acorn and whatnot. But, like, this book, unfortunately, this is one thing that we do miss in it, and it is clearly missed in the book, is that there's no unique rune weapons or magic weapons known for this region in this book. And so that's kind of a bummer if you're looking for something like the magic sword of the north, this that shoots an ice sheet 500 feet in front of you directly. There's nothing like that. There's not really any mention of anything beyond this just small little blip of magic items.
Yeah, and it is traditional for Palladium to have some rune items or some very specific magic items in each book. So it was kind of a surprise not to have it.
Yeah, but that's not saying there aren't plenty of other cool things, especially magics in general.
Yes.
Which I think, are we gonna
Oh no!
Oh
You
man, he's
can't
got
skip
more.
over. No, you can't skip over my favorite thing in as far as brand new stuff that no one saw coming,
Okay.
and that's the Great Ice Shelf.
Mm-hmm. You
So
mean the wall of ice that from another show? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, that same other show that we referenced before.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. But every map leading up to when this book was released
Mm-hmm.
had the Palladium world exactly the same. You know, the same general area, the same names of islands and call kingdoms and et cetera, et cetera. And then suddenly this book comes out and there's this big wad of ice up north, and you're like, where did that come from?
Global cooling, you didn't know?
And it turns out that the reasoning, they do go into it. The reasoning is that no one would ever want to go north of Byzantium
Mm-hmm.
because Byzantium is very far up north and no one wants to get that cold and go
And
even farther, et cetera, et cetera.
there's some buddies up there.
And yeah, and there's bad stuff up there in the ice shelf. Really bad stuff.
Well, depending on who you are. I think it's really cool stuff, but that's
Oh, I think it's cool stuff, but it's bad for humans and their allies. But yeah, suddenly 800 miles north of Byzantium, there suddenly became a 1,200-mile east to west ice shelf.
I'm digging it. You know,
And I love it. I do
Palladium
love it.
needs more ice caps. Just saying.
And it is the home to some bad stuff, so we'll get there. But um, it it was, I loved it. It was really cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really surprising. I have to admit, it was a shock to have thought that I knew the entire world all this time, and then to suddenly have basically a whole new continent
Mm-hmm.
thrown in the mix.
Yeah. Well, sometimes surprises can be good.
Yeah, no, this surprise was good. I love it. I love the stuff that's there, but it was frightening.
It makes you almost wonder what kind of ice caps are down in the south.
Except for the fact that I don't know how they go from so hot in the south,
Mm-hmm.
in the jungles, to, basically they've made the south the equatorial
Yeah, but
climate equivalent. So you got a long way to go from.
this is a world of magics, and
Yes.
I believe in a round palladium, not a flat palladium.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Oh, but what about the edge of the world? That blackness that no one can go through.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother discussion.
Another whole other book. Yes.
Hashtag believe.
So then they go into the notable figures like the king and the high
Mercy.
ministers and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the intrigue and who's trying to usurp who and who's trying to get power here and who's on the outs and who's coming up, and it's good politics, but I don't necessarily think good fantasy politics makes good Twitch broadcasts. So
Yeah.
I'll leave that to the people and get to Chris's meat and my vegetables.
What, you gotta admit, there's a lot of meat in there for you.
There's some meat in my
In your vegetables.
There's
It's a
some meat
chicken
in my-
salad. Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop right into it. OCCs. Everyone knows this by now. These are my favorite kind of things. Looking at the classes, looking at what kind of creatures and races and spells and all that fun stuff. So let's hop into it. And the first one up is a fun one. Past the dressing. The fisherman. And people are like, wait, what? I actually enjoy the fisherman. I think it's well thought out. I think it could be a fun starting storyline where you start out as a fisherman and you grow into an adventurer. They've got some fun, unique abilities, and they get a boat. So, I mean, what's not to like about a boat? And there's an interesting table here, and it's interesting because I don't think it's priced very well, but there is.
Okay, no, please go ahead, Hippo.
All right, so
Take out your favorite items. So what Hippo is referring to is they give a animal value for aquatic animals, otherwise known as seafood. Yeah. How much it's worth.
So as a fisherman, if you catch a salmon, you get 1 gold a fish. Okay, so that's the standard.
Good haul.
If you're up north, you just drop your nets in and you're catching tons of salmon. Okay, now a halibut's much bigger. You get 1 silver per 4 fish.
Yeah, who wants halibut? I like salmon in my salad. I don't like a halibut salad.
I'm just saying.
Who has a halibut salad?
You're going to be feeding a lot more people with that. Same thing with a tuna. You get 1 silver per 3 fish. And tuna are freaking massive. And they sell for so much in the real world compared to a salmon. So the pricing is a little weird. It's
actually you're missing something. Oh. It's not 1 tuna. It's 3.
Yeah, that's what I said. 1 silver per 3 tuna.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like, really?
And the halibut is 1 for every 4.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
So,
yeah.
There you go. For those of you that have ever said that we don't criticize Palladium, there it's heavy criticism. Yeah. We don't like their seafood.
Yeah. They fix your table. No.
Fix your seafood table.
If I'm not creative enough to name a town, do you think I'm creative enough to come with a proper pricing structure for fishing? You're out of your dang mind. You think I got time for that? No, it's all good. But yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little ridiculous. But the next one following up after, it's a fun, low power character that can grow into something or do whatever you want with it.
I agree. One of my favorites was the lumberjack out of the northern hinterlands. Oh, yeah. I thought that was just really brilliant, and who doesn't want to play a lumberjack and say, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay? I mean, yeah. Let's face it.
Well, that's where I would say, well, can you get 1 gold per log? Because I can catch thousands of salmon with these hands. But yeah, one thing I will say, it was kind of interesting. I was lurking on Reddit this week, and I saw a post between a Reddit user, and it looks like Palladium Books was actually active on there. So yay, Palladium. But one of the users was actually talking about how they can't figure out a use for these characters, and I'm like, oh, it's so fun to play the non-uber powerful characters and to play those lower power characters. So this is a great one, especially if your party's going that way. Hey, why not? Why not start out as just someone like low powered and work your way into becoming a hero? So that's my 2 cents on that. Speaking of heroes, the next class up is Byzantium Marine. Just to talk a little bit about this and not give too much. Their freaking Skyriders are insane.
Oh no, let's just deal with Marines first. Then we'll
Okay,
deal with
fine.
Skyrim.
Well, they're part of the Marines.
Yes.
The Marines in general are freaking beasts.
Hmm.
I feel like in a battle against the Western Empire, the Janissaries, the Marines are gonna win. I say 10 out of 10 times, but Gaming Megaverse says 9 out of 10.
8 or 9 because of lucky dice rolls. But definitely the great majority, which does not stand up. Now, Western Empire is a book that was made. It's book 8, and this is book 14, if I recall. So, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
power creep happens. It happens to every system and every every game system, every book. It happens, but I was kind of surprised that the Marines were this strong. However, they're strong, and then there's the Skyriders.
The Skyriders start out with being masters of riding a Pegasus or Pegasi or whatever you want to call it. Multiple Pegasuses. Sirs. Yeah. Pegasi LPs. But yeah, they are freaking ridiculous. They start out with a 78 and then +2 every level for riding this. So just at level 1, you can ride with a 78%.
Yeah.
So if you want an insane character that starts out with insane mounts right off the bat, Skyrider is for you. No ifs, ands, or buts. Right up your bat. And I like the fact that you can use grappling hooks with this character if you want. It says as a Skyrider, though, that you can swap out for a spear. But why not use a grappling hook? Because, I mean, Willie uses one in God Rebuilt, and I haven't used it yet. But waiting for that day. But it'd be fun.
I also find it interesting. Now, supposedly the Western Empire is very not friendly to Byzantium.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people that supposedly trade the Cyclops arrows and javelins with are the Western Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the Isle of Cyclops and the Western Empire, supposedly the only ones that had them. Yet, officers in the Skyriders will have 1d4 plus 1 Cyclops lightning arrows or javelins.
Mm-hmm. Someone je suis un espion?
Someone's either stealing, someone's made a secret deal with the Cyclops, or someone's made a secret deal with the Western Empire.
Yeah.
There's an adventure hook right there.
There's treachery afoot.
There's treachery afoot.
Yeah. And it's your job to find it out now. Everyone give me a D20 in chat. Lowest one is the spy.
So, yes, I agree. The Marines, especially the Skyriders, are amazingly strong. Great
I'm the spy.
characters. So, he rolls a 1. Nice.
I roll a 1. I'm the spy. Sorry, guys. That awkward moment.
Your luck has not changed.
Nope, not at all.
So next OCC in your in your meat class of my salad.
Mm-hmm. So my next OCC, and this picture is freaking amazing as well. Is the sea serpent chaser.
Oh, you got it.
The serpent chaser. Freaking, if anyone, like, these are the Captain Ahabs. These are the crazy ones that go towards the sea serpents and fight them. And I kind of picture like sea serpents as like the whaling of Byzantium. which would be kind of fun. These guys do get advantages against the sea serpents, but I still feel like you've got to have some really good luck and rolls because your boat's probably gonna get destroyed by a sea serpent, depending on the GM, of course.
So real quick, call out the artist is Mark Dudley, longtime Palladium freelancer. Also has a comic. Great artist. Check him out. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, it's a very fun class that gets some bonuses. I'm not going to say all the bonuses in stream because we have said a lot, and we don't want to ruin the book. But they do get some abilities to get direct to hit points as well, depending on what you roll. So Serpent Chaser, very fun class. And that leads us to our next one, which kind of reminds me of a almost like this show that was on Nickelodeon that featured different elements. We have the water chaser or chanter, sorry, water
Chanter.
chaser.
No, Serpent Chaser, Water Chanter.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this one's a fun one. It's kind of like a priest mixed with a water warlock. The only issues that we can find with the class is if you're landlocked, you're probably not going to have a fun time with this class. Yeah. So,
But if you're anywhere near water, oh my gosh, this is a lot of fun.
yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun. But as a GM, I personally would probably supplement some of the skills for this person and allow the ability to pick other water warlock classes. Obviously, not classes, spells.
Spells, yeah. I what I liked about the Water Chanter is it's probably the most unique priest out of any of the priests in Palladium. It's very in tune with the whole I'm with the sea god and the sea god channels my stuff and it's really cool. I like it.
Definitely. Yeah. So I think it's fun. It'll help your ship a lot, and it'll help you.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The game also does include some new warlock spells that are very fun. One that was mentioned is Metal to Wood. Metal to Wood's a spell that we've kind of been waiting on for a little while. So it'll be interesting. Imagine casting that on somebody's sword. Oh, just got hit by a wood sword. What? And then you mentioned to me earlier today Fire Globe you liked.
Oh, I love Fire Globe. It's basically you have a crystal ball that has fire in it. And so you can put it in your bag and, go instant fire. Or use it to throw on someone like a freaking napalm grenade. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really liked it. It's rare that there's things that kind of combine different magics like that. So I liked it. The picture of it was fun to me.
The fact that you can store it and bring it and it doesn't burn up everything. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. So also the book adds a lot of, it has a lot of skills in it, but our sadness in it is that a lot of these skills are elsewhere within the Palladium world. So
mostly in the Seas book.
Yeah, in the Seas book, you're gonna see some in some of the other books and other universes as well. So it is nice to kind of officially bring some of those into the fantasy world. But
however, when I think the seduction skill, I don't think Byzantium.
Well, when we get to the Selkie, you'll change your mind.
Good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. That Selkie is so hot.
I do have to point out one actual, like, real major thing that I really hate about this book.
Okay.
And for most people, they'd be like, who cares? But experience points tables in Palladium books traditionally are always the last page.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every single book that has any character classes, you go to the back page, that's where the experience point table is. This one is on page 108.
Yeah, it's almost the exact middle of the book.
It's like, what? How you would not think to look for it there. And it's something that makes no sense to me. Now, they do call it out in the contents,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a really bad place for it.
Yeah. Yep, I agree 100%.
Okay, so we're on to animals.
Oh, yeah. And this includes some of the sea serpents that we mentioned with the serpent chaser. You're going to have some fun ones in there. So we encourage people to check out those, especially when, I kind of feel like traveling through the north is like serpent territory. There's you if we're going in the sea, you're gonna run into serpents. Don't worry, the book's got serpents in there. You'll have fun.
And some new ones. Yep. It's cool.
Definitely. But it's got some other unique animals, such as the harbor seal. No, it's got a lot of interesting, fun animals that would normally appear in normal, everyday, real life. But it adds them to the book, and it adds them to this location, which is fun. My only thing that I kind of wish I saw is maybe if there were other places as well, or kind of just like showing the zones of where those animals would be. That would be kind of fun.
I can't argue. Let's face it, it's all about the rock claw.
The rock.
The combination giant lobster, giant scorpion terror of the northern seas.
Yeah.
That can reach 25 feet long.
I thought you were actually going to talk about the other terror, which is the corpse jellyfish.
Yeah, corpse jelly is pretty awesome, but give me a 25-foot long.
Oh, I'll take that any day. Be like right in the battle.
Lobster / scorpion. Yeah, that's nasty.
My luck though is it would stab me right in the back accidentally. Be like, you're dead to your own mount. But the mount feels really bad about it.
I do also love, just as a side note and something that I think is one of the more unique little things that are thrown in here, and there's a lot of really great little details in this book. So call out to Glenn Evans, great writing, good job. And yes, we are finally reviewing your book. Sorry it took us so long to get there. But the fact that they do he does the main thing with the rock claw. He says that meat is highly desired in foreign lands, gives a ridiculously huge price for it, and says it's worth only 10% of that in Byzantium, and most people find eating it undesirable because it's so commonplace. It's like, the people in Maine don't really like eating lobster because they've had it so often. I just found it fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of Alaskans that still love their salmon.
There you go.
Yeah. And then you also have the ice bears of the north, which are fun as well, which can be interesting having I don't know if anyone's thought of this, but having an ice bear man ride an ice bear mount into battle. I don't know how that would work.
They can they? Are the ice bears big enough?
If they went on a diet, maybe. Let's look at the weight.
Yeah, shoulder height is only 4 feet of the ice bear.
Well, the ice bear actually only weighs 1,200 to 1,500 pounds, and the actual ice bear itself weighs 1,500 to 2,200 pounds. So
Yeah,
it's possible.
but the ice bearmen are 10 feet tall.
Yeah, but they're not going to
Riding
be
a
standing.
4 foot. That's basically like having you ride one of your, well, not your dogs, because you don't have real dogs. You only have rats. But like, you riding a Labrador or something.
Well, actually, they're the same size lengthwise. So I would do it. It'd be like a human riding another human into battle.
Hey, never mind.
Except they're bears, so they run faster. Yeah.
Okay, can we move on, please?
Okay. But I do want to mention there is a sea unicorn. I'm going to show the picture. And
Yeah, show the picture.
there you go. Sea unicorn. The most beautiful creature of Palladium. I hear it's good luck if you see one. But not if it stabs you. Oh, that's beautiful, Hebo. Let's talk a little bit about the RCCs in the book.
Yeah.
I know.
You mean the one that shouldn't be an RCC?
Nope. Yeah, the one that shouldn't be an RCC. The Ice Bearman, I feel, for those that have seen it, I think, what is it, Rifters 65?
I think that's right.
I think I'm getting my numbers right. Has the Ice Bearman. This fully puts it in a book for some people that are very strict and don't count the Rifters as canon.
Silly
It's
people.
finally in the book, so now you can have it here. However, I don't. Both Gaming Megaverse and myself don't feel that this should be an RCC. We feel that it should just be considered a race. Although a very powerful race, it should just be a race because it doesn't make up for the lack of a class. That being said, some of the other RCCs are fun and could potentially be full RCCs if chosen. Some of which include the Seagull, which is an undead monster in the sea. Almost, it's pretty brutal.
It's Rifter 64, by the way.
64. I was off by one.
You were?
Shame on me. I've disgraced the stream. And then the Selkie, which is a very fun. I'm going to show the picture of this.
Oh,
one.
wait. Before you get there, you're going to show the picture of the Ice Bearman, right?
Oh, did I not show that? I'm sorry.
You did
people.
not show the picture of the Ice Bearman, which,
There's the Ice
by the way,
Bearman.
may be my favorite Chuck Walton picture ever.
But I like the Selkie.
I thought you had the Bearman on your... There
Yeah,
you go.
Ugh.
Forget you. It's this.
There you go. Well, that's because it. Yeah.
So awesome.
There we go. Yeah, the Ice Bearman. I actually had a player play the Ice Bearman from Rifter 64. And his name was Barry the Bear.
Barry the Bear. I remember Barry.
Yeah.
Rebuilt or remember Barry?
Yeah.
He had an appearance in Rebuilt.
He did. He was more intelligent in Rebuilt than he was in my other game. But the Selkie's fun because it's a seal that can turn into a human. But if you kill the seal skin, that's bad because the human form will slowly grow weak and die. So yeah, definitely check that one out. It's a fun RCC. Sorry again. But I enjoyed it. I think anyone that picks up the book would probably want to play this as a character.
The Selkie is a lot of fun. I do like the Selkie. But as far as pure evil, there is nothing that can truly beat the Seagull.
I don't know. I think there's
I,
something, and it's coming later in the book.
well, but I mean, they're decaying corpses in tattered clothing, holding on to ship pieces.
Hmm.
Didn't you have a picture of the seagull? They're doggone ugly looking.
I do.
And there has never, ever, in my mind, ever been a cooler evil thing than having corrosive vomit.
Hmm. It's a. Do they have that in Dead Rain? I'm trying to remember.
Gosh,
I have to read over my Dead
I
Rain
am, I
books.
am, I'm behind on my Dead Rain.
I have
So
them. I have. I think I have every single one. I haven't been in a situation for zombies. I'm prepared. I'm just.
you're prepared when they come. You'll
I'm.
just get out your books and know how to react.
Yep. Exactly. Well, no. I mean to run the game.
Oh, oh, I thought you were just gathering the books to figure out how to prepare yourself for the
Oh,
coming zombie apocalypse.
yeah. To prepare for that, and then to prepare for space zombies.
Ah, okay.
Oh man. Spoiler alert! You guys heard it here first.
Not referencing the every other Thursday game appearing on this channel.
Last of our kind every
Last
other
of our kind.
Thursday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 1:30 p.m.
Yeah, 1:30.
Or
June.
a.m. Sorry, 1:30 p.m. would be a very long game.
Yes, it would. Even longer than Rebuild goes.
We'd be dead. But yes, after the RCs come the fun Northern Strangler and the Jormund, but then also one of the most powerful dragons ever. There we go. And that's the picture that we showed earlier as well. The
Winter Serpents.
So moist.
I think the Queen would actually go moist seeing that
Mm-hmm.
if she didn't die straight on.
Mm-hmm.
The Winter Serpent is an ice dragon squared. It is nasty.
Oh, you nasty.
It's
Yeah.
nasty.
It's powerful. It's fun. It can turn into a bear.
Yep.
And it can choose between either the bear man or the bear itself. So, depending on whether or not it wants to be the mount or the rider.
Go again.
Yep.
But I love the fact that they're also water elemental magic, so that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. And they've got some fun ice powers as well in there. So now let's talk about the fun one, because we're gonna actually have GM kind of interact with this a little bit. This book provides a random monster generator very similar to those that are found in Land of the Damned and other books. The cool thing about this one's more specifically towards Byzantium, but GM, you're gonna start rolling one up, right?
Yep. All right. So first roll is I have a dolphin or a porpoise,
All right.
and this dolphin or porpoise.
Do you want to describe what you're rolling for, though? This is the body type.
So body type or appearance is dolphin or porpoise. Then the next roll is number of heads, and I have rolled 4 heads. So we have a 4-headed dolphin.
I like it.
And then the type of heads.
And you roll once for each head.
Yep. So one head is a squid head.
Okay.
One head is a crocodile head.
Oh man.
One head is a polar bear head.
How does that one breathe underwater?
I don't know. And the last head is a humanoid head.
Oh man. I'm gonna say that head is LeVar Burton from Rainbow.
I like it. Then intelligence and aggression. I got low animal intelligence, a predator that operates on instinct and brute strength.
Well, LeVar Burton is trying to turn that around with the power of reading.
Oh. And then I get to see if I have any additional appendages, and I have a spiked prehensile tail.
Oh man.
So I'm swimming along with my foreheads, with a dolphin body, with a low animal intelligence and a prehensile tail.
How big are you, or is there a thing? For
The dolphin says 3d6 plus 15 feet. So let me see here.
and
I
yes,
am
Hebo, this would totally be a TPK.
25 feet long.
Oh man, you do not want to go swimming in the water with this guy.
And features and abilities. I can breathe fire.
Which head does that? Or
All four.
oh man,
And
I like
the
it.
last is the strange abilities table, which, after all, I needed more strange abilities.
Mhm.
And I have rolled a 92%, which makes me a psychopathic killer.
Butterfly,
Kill machine hunts for fun and challenge, not just to eat.
butterfly in the sky. I could kill twice as high.
So, but that's how quick and easy it is to make one. Quite frankly, they're fun, and sometimes you get really weird stuff, like a four-headed dolphin that breathes fire,
Yep.
with one head looking like LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. Although
So-
sometimes when he's tired of, when he wants to go incognito, he puts his Geordie mask on.
Because after all, this world has no idea what Star Trek is.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, who is that? That definitely isn't LeVar Burton. And that brings us.
So, and the picture that's currently up is again from Chuck Walton, and this will give you some idea how crazy this stuff gets. There's a dinosaur, a killer whale, and a shark all melded into one. So
Yeah, it gets pretty
It's
insane. Here's another weird one. But next, let's talk about the creatures that inhabit the north. The Iceborn. I like them. I think they're
you like
fun.
them even after facing them, do you?
Even after facing it, we're not going north anymore.
No, you did though.
Oh, did we?
Tarash was an Iceborn.
Oh, yeah, he was easy.
Oh,
Piece of cake. No, Iceborn would be very fun to play. Very interesting classes, especially the Iceborn Witch.
but
I'm
before
sorry.
we get to the Iceborn Witch,
Iceborn Witch and
the Sea Witch.
the Skin Binder and all them. Which one do you want me to talk about first?
Oh,
So many fun ones.
So, the male Iceborn have seal or whale-like skin
Mhm.
and fat that keep them warm in cold. They're called the Iceborn because that sheet of ice up there that we talked about earlier. Yeah, that's where they live.
Mhm. That's where I go on vacation.
Yeah, well,
I've got a timeshare there.
I'm sure after the summer that you've had so far, you probably wish you did.
Yep. I'd be like, "Hey, Glenn," and he's like, "Ugh."
You could recover from the heat.
Yeah. Got near that good rock claw meat.
So the Iceborn Raider. Oh, please tell me I sent you that picture. Did I send you that picture?
You sent me nothing.
Did I really not send you the Iceborn Raider picture?
Nope.
Uh-oh. I'm holding it up.
It's all good. Yeah, you got it.
So, trying to cut down on glare. There we go.
He looks beautiful.
Those are human faces on him. They like to take their trophies and wear them afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
They the entire race kind of uses necromancy and death magic, along with just the fact that these guys are serious badasses that are kind of based on, the epic barbarians of like Attila the Hun. I mean, these these guys are pirates. These guys make pirates look like nice guys. They make Vikings look like a children's bedtime story. They're nasty.
Mm-hmm. They kind of remind me of like Reavers from
Yeah,
Firefly.
yeah. Reavers is a good one. And they are ridiculously powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And for any of you that are familiar with rebuilt, they would make Ursus seem not brutal. They just kill. They just kill, rape, pillage, plunder, done.
Mm-hmm. Barbecue.
And barbecue. Except usually they skip the rape part, but
yeah.
But
it's all good. And then there's the female one as well, which is also just as fearsome. But the class that only females can be are the Skinbinders. Very fun class. At first look, it does look like a supportive class, but it's a necromancer class that does have a lot of support spells, and it can bioregenerate. So pretty freaking awesome there. But then also the Sea Witch is another fun one. That one's, I would say, power level, it's just as powerful as the Witch, if not more powerful.
Way more, I think.
Yeah. So
they can fly, they got necromancy, they're nasty bitches.
Yeah. Oh, you nasty.
And nasty bitch. Alright, can we talk about our favorite thing in the entire book now?
Yes. And you're gonna have to hold it up too. So beautiful.
Okay, so that is what you think it is. That is a dead sea serpent with a ship attached, moving along the sea.
So here's my question, and I know I'm not supposed to ask logic questions.
Yes.
So is there a crew under the water with the oars in the rib cage? Because
no, it's as always, done a bit by magic.
I just think I'd like to imagine that there's people under the water.
So interesting enough, when they talk about the ship itself, when they go into the details, they talk about flippers for locomotion.
Yeah.
So,
but those clearly are
the tail rudder. Yeah. So I understand. I think that the picture and the actual description of the ship didn't necessarily jibe. So,
yeah, still fun.
But it's so much fun. And I mean, what is more scary than a dead sea serpent coming at you that's moving, and its head can move, and it smells like death for miles, and yeah.
Well, a dolphin-bodied LeVar Burton with a crocodile
that breathes fire maybe might be scarier.
Yeah, that's pretty scary too.
Yeah, but this is a sea serpent. It's way bigger.
At least LeVar will read you a book while you're dying in the fire. What? Like a book that's called "Mommy, Why Does It Burn?" Yeah. But no, it's a very
So
fun.
yes, the ship is just bleeping awesome. I'll be honest, I would buy the book just for the ship.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
I mean, the head freaking moves
Yeah,
and
the
does
head moves.
damage.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the very large does like 1d6 times 10. So with a bite.
And these things can carry. The largest of these ships can carry 500,000 tons
Hmm.
and be 4,000 feet long. I mean, think about that. That's just.
That's as good as a Chevy Silverado. That's pretty dang good.
So yeah, and they live on these ships, and that's their. It's a village as well as just as a ship, so it's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, they're Voyagers like in Moana, except they murder people.
Except they murder everyone, but just like Moana.
Just
otherwise,
like Moana.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. So one of your all-time favorite classes is next.
It is, but I have to. I'll get the negative out of the way first.
Get the negative out.
Palladium, why didn't you just put this class in just one book? This class has been in like 50 different books and has 55 different alterations to it.
It's a slight exaggeration, but it has been in way too many books.
Yeah. That is the Necromancer. However, that being said, it's very fun. It's got a lot of fun, different powers that it's adding to the class. It's got a lot of fun, different animal parts that you can attach to yourself now, which is really cool. Sorry. And
who doesn't want to wear a necklace of goblin skulls?
Exactly. So, this will take your necromancy to the next level. You can be when you think you're all the way up at 10, this takes you to 11. So very fun. Check it out. They've got a lot of spells in here. A lot of them were included in Rifter 64 because that was the one with the Ash Bear Man. So it's got a lot of those. It's added some other ones in there as well, which are awesome and fun. So I highly encourage people checking them out. I'm not sure. Did they not include some of the ones from 64?
I thought all the 64 ones got in there, but I'm not positive. I haven't put them two next to each other.
Thirst of Vost is not in there.
Uh-oh.
So
so that answers it.
So I know that one's not in there. So I highly recommend if you're trying to make a necromancer. Like I said, there's a bunch of different books that have everything. Once you get them all together, it creates this fun hodgepodge that you can just make a really, really nasty character. But I mean, if you're just making a necromantic army, you've got the spells in the first book. In the main book, you've got Create Zombie and Create Mummy. Very fun spells. Unfortunately, they're afraid of fire, so you have that you gotta deal with. But yeah, very fun.
And Hebo, most of the art in this book is from Chuck Walton,
Palladium's own.
Palladium's own friend of the channel. Nice guy.
Yeah.
But yes, the art is ridiculously good in this book. I agree.
Definitely. Yep. And so on top of this, they've got some fun little weapons as well. I mean, you get to wear shark armor. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I can't wait till Willie gets his hands on a Nagawa. The Iceborne grappling hook.
Well, now I can't because we're already too far south. So, missed
Never
that
say
one.
can't.
Yep. I guess that's true. One other thing that we do want to mention that we like about this book as well is that it includes some more ships on there that you can include to your list of arsenal for ships. Very well statted out, very fun. However, we do wish that the stone ship there was a picture.
At least of one of the stone ships. There's never been a picture of a stone ship. We don't know what it looks like yet.
Hey, Chuck.
Except in our mind's eye.
Chuck, you could be the first. I believe in you.
Draw a stone ship for us, Chuck.
Yeah. Will you do that? And then you can draw LeVar Burton on the front. with Leonardo DiCaprio.
But yeah, the stone ships are unique to Byzantium. They are a mixture of magic and science and stone. And they're Byzantium-only ships, and they're pretty doggone powerful and pretty cool. So they're neat. And then the book ends with some adventure hooks and some gods of the past, and we're not going to ruin that stuff. So, but there's some good hooks in there. The gods are pretty interesting, and that's Byzantium. Really good fantasy book.
It is. It's fun, and it's gonna add a lot of fun character classes that I honestly do feel like I would play outside of Byzantium in general. I can't wait to play an Iceborne and a Winter Dragon. Winter Serpent.
A Winter Serpent.
Yeah.
I will say that it definitely is a book that you could play. That's useful even if you don't play Palladium. It's useful with all of the background, all the stories. The character classes are easily adaptable to Pathfinder or D&D or whatever system you play. It's a good source book, period.
Yep.
I really highly recommend it. And again, there's the best ships ever.
Mm-hmm.
Put the cover back up. Put the cover back up. It's got one of those. Come on.
All right.
Put it up. Put it up.
Oh, the actual cover.
The cover of the book. Come on.
Right.
Get that picture back up.
Come
on. No, not that. I meant on the screen.
Oh, it is on the screen.
The book up, silly.
Well, now it's everywhere.
There you go.
All right.
That is one of those dead serpent ships. That is just so cool.
Mm-hmm. You thought it was a dragon, but you were wrong.
Oh.
So wrong. But yeah, I would say this is one of the, if I was just getting into Palladium, this is probably one of the first source books I would get. I feel like it adds a lot of OCCs, and it adds a lot of fun to your game that you can do. A lot of interesting creatures and ships and utensils for both the GM and the player.
I agree.
So, yeah, definitely recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Well written, Glenn. Looking forward to your next book.
Glenn, yep.
Where's Lopan? Where's Fi? Where's the Heroes books that you've been working on?
Just make sure that we get better fishing pricing tables in the future.
And put the XP tables in the back.
I'm pretty sure that's Kevin on that. Shots fired. No. But everyone, hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode of Into the Megaverse. We're working on some more reviews coming, but also we're working on an interesting one where Gaming Mega. Oh, are we not saying it?
Oh, okay. Go ahead, say it.
I wasn't going to say who was in it. I was just going to say Gaming Megaverse for sure is going to be our moderator this time, and we're going to get some content creators that work with Palladium products and Palladium in general. So it'll be fun. We're working on that.
By the way, before you stream, we need to talk.
Yep, definitely. Alrighty, everyone. Have a fantastic evening.
And for those that are live, please stick around. Hippo will be back with Hearthstone soon. What, probably 20, 30 minutes, Hippo?
Yep. Maybe even less.
Okay.
but we will be opening packs right afterwards. All right, everyone, have a fantastic evening.
Hippo love.
Much love.